Here today in the local artist gallery in Gladstone Hospital, and we've just installed historian Paulette Flint's exhibition Meet Me at the Cafe. Paulette, can you tell me a little bit, we've got lots of cafes here, we've got 12 different ones. Can you tell me a little bit about one of your favourite pieces?
Well, they're all my favourites really. I fall in love with all of them, but this one here that I'm standing next to is Mrs. Buck's Cafe. Mrs. Buck is a really interesting lady because she actually owned her own aeroplane, which she landed on the mud flats near the meatworks, and she lived there for a while and ran a boarding house. It was called Mrs. Buck's Boarding House. She was married 3 times, but she was obviously an adventurous because she also drove fast cars, which she crashed occasionally, but she employed a lot of young women, and when she started the cafe, it was in Auckland Street. Actually quite near right next to the Blue Mirror, where the Blue Mirror Cafe is now. And she had that for a number of years. So I'm quite excited about this concept. It's something different. I've never thought of exhibiting pieces of my work because, as you know, it's originally a book called Meet Me at the Cafe, and I write quite long stories about the history of the cafes. But in this case, I know people love photos, so it's really nice to just get a few of the interesting photos and put a little story to them. And it's great that it's in a public place like the hospital where many people can enjoy it.
So already we have had people looking at the pieces going up. How does that make you feel?
Well, that made me feel really excited because not just the staff, but some of the people visiting patients have stopped and said, oh, well, I used to go to Corones Cafe and skate in the skating rink, and I've had a lot of the staff stopping and reading the stories, and they're all really interested in it, so it's lovely. So this is another one of my favourites. This is Corones Cafe and Skate Rink. Now, Mr. Corones, Mick Corones, whose name was actually Minos Coroneus, had 2 cafes. He started the Niagara Café, which was in the valley, and then he decided to open another cafe and a caravan park at Barney Point. And when he opened the cafe at Barney Point, he built a little tea garden next to it. He also brought over some nephews from Greece to give them a job. And one of the nephews went to Sydney and bought a pair of skates. And he started skating around the tea garden, so it wasn't long before that turned into a skating rink and the tea garden was no more. And many people around Gladstone remember going skating at Corones on Saturday afternoon, on Sunday, for something to do.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you feel that this is quite a different place for artists to exhibit their work? How have you felt about the process and being able to exhibit your works here in Gladstone Hospital?
So I've really enjoyed doing this, and I've enjoyed looking at some of the other exhibitions that have been here. And I just hope that Cosmos Arts for the Health will be able to continue to be supported by more and more sponsors to allow more artists to be able to exhibit their work, and to allow the public to take advantage of appreciating the art.